Hello, my fellow YouTubers. This is Roy back again. Let's have some conversation. Guys, ready? So tonight we're going to cover Edley Scallan's Magneto and these V-shaped magnets here. We're going to dig in deep on. Hello, my fellow YouTubers. We back. Hello, my fellow YouTubers. We back again. Seems like I lost you. Somebody in, somebody out. All right, let's get in. Let's dig into Edley Scallan's. It's what they're all about and what they represent. Right here, I have one of Edley Scallan's V-shaped magnets that happen. Thermodynamics part of the V-shaped magnet. So on this one, it had no magnetic field at all. I mean, it was zero. I put a neodymium magnet on both sides and brought it back to life. And you can see there's some colors showing up there. What's up, Mr. J Chick in the house? Yeah, you know why? Because I'm getting near these magnets. When I get near the magnets, everything gets crazy. So you can see that this one left at the very end. Okay, so we'll just leave that one there. These two I charged because they were flat as well, and I charged the V-shaped magnet. And every time the magnet passes the front of the PMH, the induced magnetic field goes into the wheel, which goes through the coils. We'll get into that. But right here, I had charged two of them. So you see that this one is just on the tip ends. And then now you can see that both of the field lines are really a lot stronger. And you got your greens, your blues, and your yellows. And what color do you think is missing? You got your blues, your greens, your yellows. So what color is missing? I would say red, because your heat shows up as red. So let's do a demonstration here. So I have this magnet north facing out, south facing out, and then this one south facing and north. So these are opposing each other. So let's look at where the field lines are on this by using this magnetic strip here. It's pretty cool. You guys should get one if you're interested. Place magnets behind film and innovating beyond imagination. Let's go ahead and let it do its job. So here you can see that the colors are all the same. All right. What we're going to do here for an experiment, we're going to mess with the field lines. And if you look, all of a sudden there's a white line that appeared. And I'm going to take my hand and I am going to move that white line. That's a magnetic field. You see it bending? And watch. This is pretty interesting. Watch that magnetic field. Let me move this paper over. Let's get a better look here. So I'm moving the field lines. So look where that field line travels from in the V-shaped magnet. The magnetic field goes from the neutral to the neutral. You see it. It goes over. And look, so when you get north to north and you line them up, you get a straight field. This to me reminds me of if you were going to travel in space, and you're bypassing anything, that when the poles are opposing each other, the field lines just go straight past. Okay? And you can see that we can turn them by phasing them in a different direction. You see that? So you can see the color also on the magnetic field that is around the whole tips. You can see that stretching out. So let's go ahead and play around a little bit. You guys are going to love this. Here are some pins I got left over from the Model T Ford's Buzz Box. The core was a laminated core. It had about 150 of these though here. So these were sort of little magnetized from the Buzz Box, but let's go ahead and take this and we're going to run it from one end of the magnet. That's what Ed says, right? Let's do this. We're going to magnetize this, okay? We're going to run it from one end, from the north end to the south. See, I'm touching both ends, right? Let's go ahead. And it's happening as this tip here goes to the North Pole. We know that's north, this is north, that's south, this is south. So what happens in this iron rod? What do you think? Well, you can't see it, right? And you can't see that white line that runs across here, right? You can't see it, right? We see nothing. We just see what we see. So I'm coming across here and boof. At the very end of this tip, there's a magnetic dipole at the very end. So let's go ahead and check what I'm saying here. So here are your colors, right? Here's your magnets. We're going to take this and we're going to go ahead and stick it in. All right? Just put it there now. Put the tape over it. And we're going to look for the pin end. So basically, the pin end should appear right there. You see that? That's me moving my finger. See that? Bam, that's the pin end. So there's a magnetic dipole. Oh, look, what's right here? That's that magnetic field line. Look at it. Boof. So let's go ahead and line it up. Let's get it straight with the magnets. Got a straight vertical line. And let's go ahead and dissect that magnetic line by using this little dipole that we created. And let's go ahead and see what that line does when a dipole. Ooh, whoa. Sort of like it's resilient, like ether. Like it just penetrates, it comes back. Let's do it over here. Penetrates and comes back. See that? That's how ether is. It's resilient. Very, very resilient. Hello, Angel in the house. What's up, buds? I didn't look down here. I was a little busy in the experiment. So, when you look at that field line in these, think about this. The magnetic field is running from the neutral on out and joining continuously because there are opposing fields right now. See that? We can alter that field, the opposing fields. Wait till we change them over. You guys are going to love this. It gets a lot better. This is the boring part, but you know what? I got to demonstrate how we got there. So here we are with, this is so Russellian. Angel, wait till you see what I bring here. This is crazy. So here you got your dipole end. It's a magnetic tip because I just charged it with the magnet itself. And now we're able to go ahead and play with the magnetic field streamline. So what happens, do you guys think? Let's go ahead and line this totally up so it's perpendicular. What do you think happens when I go to push through the streamline there? See that streamline? There we go. Let's straighten that out. Bam, that looks straight. So we're going to push this magnetic dipole through. And what do you think is going to happen? Are there any comments? So when you take this, we're going to penetrate it. It's just almost like messing with an artery or something, to where there's this resilience to that magnetic field. and that's just a dipole. You could say that's anything. So let's go ahead and try to push through. So now we're going to push through. Angel, you're going to love this. So we're in it. I can back out, right? Nothing going on. My dipole's still there. Let's go ahead and push further through. This is going to explain what I just was showing you guys with the snapback. So look at my dipole now actually becoming its own through the field. And I want you to see that it becomes its own vortex outside the stream. Now, but it's sort of like if it would be a, let's go over here, let me straighten this out. To me, this frontal of this dipole magnetic field shooting through a stream there, magnetic field, is breaking through and taken away with it and shearing and then becoming its own going out. Let's go ahead and now flip the poles. This is where it gets really fun. So now we got north against south, south against north. So that's still north, that's still south, that's south, and that's north. Now notice one thing with the colors now. A couple things I want you to notice. Look at the field lines now. They're no longer protruding straight from, you can see back there, there's a little protruding from the neutral. But here you can see there's some neutral, then it comes up and bends over. And there's a bend here too. And let's work through what is going on here. So now we have field lines that are now curvature and going out. So the north against south, south against north creates, I always call it a Bosch wall, but you can see how it turns. And this is what creates the Russellian vortex. I know it's the Coriolis effect, but if you get past Coriolis, this really explains. Now you can see there's a curvature on this field line that was coming from the neutral out. It was bent over from the front of this. And this one is shooting this way. So there's a bypass here on these field lines that obviously come from the neutral. So let's go ahead and turn the lines continuously. And you can see that the field lines will just go their own way. Now we're going to turn back and watch where the field lines now will collaborate. Now, I just accidentally touched the one poles together over here, and now you see red show up. So that's what I was saying earlier with thermodynamics. Together, the field line, you got your blues in the deep, outside the white, and then you got your about the connection, just magnets, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and watch the colors. So I'm pushing them both together, one side, and watch your field lines. See, all of a sudden now the reds show up, boof. So now your reds are, everything's concentrated, a deep, deep dark blue, and then your magnetic field line is being compressed. This is a compression of a magnetic field line. Sorry that the magnets are interfering for what I'm saying, because this is really, really interesting stuff. You can see the red lines and the green and the dark blues and the white magnetic field being compressed. And that's when you take a north, south, and north and put them together. Now we're going to go ahead and pull them apart again. And I'll stay over here. Maybe you can still hear me. Hopefully you're hearing what I'm saying. There's so much information here. So now you're back to your colors. You got your blues on the outside. You got your magnetic field stream running around. So think about this. This is your north. This is your south. So on your south pole, it's turning in the left-hand turn, okay? on your North Pole, you're turning on the right, on the outside, left hand in as well. That's pretty fascinating that the pole is looping around and coming up and making a sort of like a S turn coming into the field here. Now, listen, these ain't touching, right? So we don't see this when we're just looking at it, but when you get cool paper that shows the thermodynamics through a magnetic field, now watch as I put it closer together. Poof, that's one side. There's your other side. So now you start to get your reds in there, and you can see there's compression. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is when you take these and you adjust these to the ley lines of where you're at, okay? This gets even more nuts. So let's talk about my garage. So right here I have the North Pole facing that way, and let's verify that. All right, let's start off here. I know my brick wall here is facing north, so let's look at my compass. So where's north? Right, we're going to check it. So north. Over here, I got it written on the wall where my north of my shop is. The funny thing is where my shop is positioned, that north right there. Okay. Well, these magnets are screwing it up. Thank you, Ed's wheel. So over here. Oh, we're back to north. Okay. So there's north. Over there is south. Over here is west. And right here is east. So this wall here has east and north on it. That wall by itself has south, and that wall by itself has west. That wall has nothing. And I still can't get the compass to work back here because of these guys. And you can see these are all north, south, north, south. So if you take it and turn it, this thing will spin around. Anything yellow is south, and everything north. Centers are neutral. So when you take Ed's magnet, and I want to show you this. This is going to be a one-handed thing, but you know what? Here we go. Let's try this. So here we go. Look at the color. We're going to face it towards north. But what I think you got to do is turn. No, it's going to be sideways. Let's see if it is that way. So watch. All right, yeah, this is it. So there's more dipoles show up in the wheel. Now look at the streams. As soon as I align it with the north, look what happens. There's two streams to the right and one stream to the left. Now look what happens when I start turning it to the east. You see the streams of the magnetic field? Two of them join to one side and do a left-hand turn, and I'm facing east. This is awesome stuff. Now I'm going to turn back. Right, look at the field lines. It goes back north. So right now I'm facing north. Let's go back over now, and let's for the first time go west. So now we're heading west. There's west. So now the field lines are still on the right side. Let's keep, I see something just came out. Here we go. Look at all these field lines. Now it's starting to appear. Now we're going west to south. Look at this. Oh, whoa. What just happened? Total. We are halfway between west, halfway between south. We are total split in the middle there. Let's keep turning. Wow, getting deeper too. Look at that. Oh, I see a double. Oh, shit. What happened to the right? Look at that. field line all of a sudden just said, let's get out of the light. Field line now went to the other side. Now, when you get to the south, you're conjoined on the left side. Oh, I just seen it appear on the far right. I see it separating. So now I wanted to show you guys that basically taking the magnet and moving it around from east to west to east, you can see that it changes the field lines in the magnet. I hope that most of my video got out there live stream. You could see how the field streams facing north now. Here's the north. They're hooking to the right. There's a right hand turn, and then if I go towards the west, they become a left hand turn, and that's for you guys who know electricity. Your left and right hand turn, your spin. So you would see the spin change based on the magnetic field changing according to its positioning in the natural magnetic field of Earth. So hopefully you guys still heard me. I have no clue. I'm kind of looking to see if you're still there. You guys there? Anybody there? Shit. All right. Well, I'll do it for myself if I don't see you out there. So here we go. This setup here is um, a buzz coil, and this is the points on it, and I got a magnet in the back with a north facing out, like I just showed you here, where it makes straight lines. So when that magnetic field there is present, this body doesn't like me to do this. Let's go ahead and connect. And I want you to see that when I make the connection, this buzz coil has a vibratorial feedback. Listen, hear that? That's it. And it reverberates out. So it's a feedback to the magnets that I created. I always thought that every element needs a friend. And the friend that I'm giving it is a magnetic field that's going to respond on the backdrop. Therefore, it in a magnetic field way is redoing what this could do. And this is a magnet. If you stick it in there, it's going to make it go faster. But it's doing without the magnet, creating a backdrop magnet, which is giving it a resonant frequency. So basically, let's go ahead and just take a peek of what's going on here. You see that moving. You see the wheel. This top coil is a bifilar, but it's not hooked up to anything. And the only driver right now there is this bottom coil, which is a bifilar, and that one has 47 ohms of resistance. The top one's a bifilar, only has 12 ohms. There's a big difference between the two, beside the resistance on how they react to the wheel. Now we know this one here is having electromagnetic reactance through the make and break contact of this magnet passing this coil per se. We also know, because we can see and hear right now, that this magnet, or magnet, electromagnet at this point, but this transformer also is pushing the wheel. It's also the feedback, which is reconnected back into the gap. So let's go ahead and adjust the gap, and let's make a spark appear. Is there a spark there? Should be a spark. Should be a feedback spark. So it allows the wheel to slow down, right? And now the wheel will pick up speed. Right? It's picking up big time right now. See that? It's climbing like crazy. Because that little magnetic field right now, it's giving that little extra push without taxing the coil below. It's perfect harmony. What's up? Everybody in the house. Oh, I see the messages. I'm sorry to be like vague. Oh my God. So let's go ahead and take this magnet here and let's check its pole. So it's showing north here. So what we're going to do now, that's still picking up crazy speed, right? We're going to take this north pole magnet of this neodymium magnet. We're going to stick it in this bifilar coil, which right now is just having induction reaction off of the magnets moving by it. So we're going to stick the north in here based on the magnetic field from what I just showed you in the previously. We're going to create a straight line from the front of this magnet into this electromagnet, which is not, it's hooked up to the 2N3055 by itself, but it's not hooked up to the batteries. So it's reacting going through the 2N3055 on its own. So let's go ahead and I want you to listen. And I also want you to watch. We're going to stick this in, right? Notice this guy here stop being a feedback for a second. Notice the wheel is picking up speed. And this is now noticing the faster this wheel goes, the less this is going to respond. Like that. That means the wheel picked up a lot more speed. Watch. So now let's go in a little deeper. There's a little deeper. So now we should notice a lot more speed in the wheel. And we should notice a little bit less noise from this. Now let's go ahead and push this in. And let's make it obvious. Ready? Watch this. Watch what happens when I get a certain distance. Watch. Hear that? All right, now the momentum shifted from the coil to the wheel. Now the wheel became like a washer in spin cycle. You hear that? And now I'm going to push it, let it go. Right? Hear that? Slow down. Now we're going to increase the speed. Now remember, this second coil is not having the inverse square law effect or the lens effect to the lower coil. It is now picking up speed. Now I'm going to show you something. I got my hand over here. See it quiet down real quick, and the speed's kicking up. But you don't see the magnet yet, right? But the speed's getting crazy. And look at that. Now watch as I start to push it, and it gets harder to push in because it's opposing. I'm putting a lot of force in. I'm trying to get the end to pop out, and the wheel is really starting to take off. My goal with the wheel speed is 3,600 RPMs. And I'll get into why we need 3,600 RPMs. Now the wheel's really pissed off, taking off. Now we got just a little bit of that magnet sticking out. So now the wheel, it's funny because I never really had a neodymium magnet ever have reactance. It's such a strong magnet that it never would react to any other electromagnetic field. But you can see it's reacting to what we got going here. And this thing is just crazily picking up speed. Now, if I were to take, say, the feedback from this going into, say, this 12 volt LED, I disconnect the one end and connect it to that end. And then I take the other part and connect it to here. And that electric is coming from the back EMF of this drive coil. And you can see the wheel is still picking up crazy speed. One thing I want to talk about, as I get the speeds going, things I haven't mentioned is my Russell-Onlian effect in this is that the magnetic field center moves here, the dipole moves into here, and then it expands outward through the width. We're here, this is just to protect me from walking into it. Since my eye is still in healing mode, I got 50% vision in my right eye, but I had a detached retina a month ago, so it takes 2 months. I got a gas bubble in my eye, and I stay away from nitrous oxide, and I'll be good. No airplanes either. So the dipole expands out from the outside magnets to the center, and from the center out horizontally. So the other part I want to show you guys is my Walter Russell effect, I'm going to call it. We'll let that go because I want that up here. And I like to have the magnetic strip, which is right here. This wheel is still picking up speed. I'm just letting it go. Hopefully you can hear me still. So we're going to look at the magnetic field on this neodymium. And look at the colors. Look at the ring on the outside. This ring has a lot to do with what Angel puts out there. I want you to notice that in the ring, look at the field lines inside and how it stretches out, almost in a three-dimensional. Look at it on the backdrop. And we're facing north that way and the south that way. So what you have is north, south, north, south. So let's look through the spectrum here. This is fascinating. This really blows my mind because this is such a Walter Russell Olean effect here. Now watch the center as I bring the paper down. You can see it becomes a vortex, a split vortex. Look at that. There's a split vortex in the center between the two magnets. This is Walter Russell. This is phenomenal. Look at the board. Look at the center. Look at the center of those two. This is what I've been looking at and thinking about. And here it is showing up in my eyes. Look what happens in the center. You see that circle, that halo. That is a internal. dipole within a dipole, going smaller and smaller. Look at the Bosch wall. Let me put my hand on this. Look right there. There's a vortex and a vortex and a vortex. That's our planet Earth. Pretty much. This thing is scaring me. It's going so fast right now. Yeah, I got to take my time with the eye. That's how we're gonna heal. I don't want it done twice. You guys, hopefully you're still there. You hear me? You see this thing? It is nasty. Push this magnet out of here. It's still in there. It's responsive. There we go. I have to get it out of there. This whole experimental apparatus that I'm making here is very unique, mainly because it allows me to experiment on different areas of physics, magnetism, electric phenomenon, and it allows me to go deep into different books and allows me to share it out with you guys. So stay tuned. And guys, questions, I love to talk to you guys. And sorry about if there's a bad connection. I'll have to go back and watch this tomorrow and see what I can do to make it better. Leave your comments, please. Thank you. Bye.